Okay, here we are in the lab again, and I just wanted to do a quick video for an update and show you what I've been doing. So I 3D printed a holder for the CF drive, for the CF card and its holder. So it fits in the floppy drive bay, and then this is the front. I have a black case, as you can see over there. And so this just goes on like this, just glues on. All right. And then the CF card, it just goes in. Whoops, like that. That's the wrong card. It goes in like that. So let me snap it in better. So it goes in like that. And get the CF card here. And then the CF card just plugs in like that. And then this goes on here like this. All right. And then this goes in the drive bay. All right. So I printed this, and then I got an idea. Well, I have two hard drives. So that's going to be drive D or A, whichever you want to call it. And we're going to make it drive A, and because that's the removable media. And so then we're going to have our drive C, which is the exact same thing. It's just the bootable one. So then I changed and I printed this one. All right, so this one, the CF card goes in there. That's the wrong one again. The CF card goes in there like that, just like before. But then this other CF card screws on right behind it, like that. So then the ribbon cable can fit real easily. And you have to have a pretty long ribbon cable to go from the controller card all the way up to the floppy. So I got a little extra long one. All right, so let's take a look at how I put it together. Because what I do is we have to drill holes here. So this fits kind of tight, but it fits good. All right. So just have to line that up like that. And then we take the drill. So then we'll get a drill bit in here. All right, let me get my glasses on here. All right. So then we just want to put a mark where the drill is going to go. And then one here. Like that. And take this back off. And we drill our holes. Now when I printed this, I printed it with a 50% fill. I tried 30 before, but 30 doesn't leave enough material for your screws to bite in real well. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to make the mark for the other one, and this one just kind of just sits there. It doesn't have to be aligned or anything, so I'm just going to kind of get it in there like this, kind of center on the little stand, like that, and I think I want to drill a hole here first. Then I can get a screw in it to hold it. Kind of like that. Hopefully this is the last one I have to print. Because it takes about 5 hours to print this base. Alright. Okay, that'll hold that. Now this is our A drive. Doesn't want to come out of there. Alright. My table's got a little dirty. Alright. Alright, so then we'll put this on here like that. And then we'll put our screws on here like this. Just want to go in there and those. Okay. Alright, so there's that one. Now let me peel this stuff off of this thing here. The double-sided tape. Peel that off and then I'll put it back on here. Alright, so I cleaned it up. Just scraped it off. And then put a little denatured alcohol on it. Clean off the adhesive left over. And so then we'll get our card in here. Like that. And we'll just set this thing on here. It goes like this. And that way, when it sits close like that, the card can't come out. Because that's your C drive. So I figured that was a good idea to put it in like that. Alright. One there. Alright. Okay, so there's that. Then we want to make sure we get our jumper set before we put it in there. So we have the master and the slave. So you want that set. Alright, so then the next thing is that we must line up the face. So it's what we got to do is we got to get this lined up when we glue it so that it's centered, but it's also got to get centered onto the drive. And we might have to sand the edges of this a little bit if it doesn't get perfect. But so I should have done this before I put that on. We'll get some super glue here. And this is kind of porous, so I'm going to use quite a bit of super glue actually. I'm going to spread that out pretty good. Like that. And then we're going to put a whole bunch on here. Right in here. Because it's kind of rough. So we want to fill all that up. Super glue. Alright. Then we just want to put that on there and center it the best we can. Make sure that it's centered on that card good. On the holder. It's gluing my gloves. And it feels like maybe I need to get some more in there. No, that's looking pretty good. We got a lot, so it's going to take a while for it to dry. So I'll see you back later after it dries. Oh yeah, it's starting to get on there pretty good. So let's pull the card out. And we'll set it like that. Yeah, just like that. All right, we don't need the PIC kit. All right. So we'll let that dry and then we'll come back and we'll put the ribbon cable on it. Okay. So the first thing we got to do, we got to get our power here, both of them. And it might not hurt to get a splitter so you don't use both your power cables. But you got to stick them up through here, and they have to come out the front like that so that you can get this in first. So we have to get this in through here, and then it has to come down and connect to the front, our drive A. And we got to make sure we get it on good. All right. Then we got to get this guy on here for the back drive, drive C. And then we got to feed it all in here like that. All right. So then you have to drill a hole. I already got one in because I've like had to do this like twice already to get it right. But you drill a hole right in here like that. So you can put a screw in to stabilize it so it doesn't flop around. How many people has put their floppy drive in and just let it sat there without screws? I'm guilty. I'm sure some of you are too. But anyway, get our screw in there. It's lined up in the front good. All right. Like that. All right, so it's good and stable. And we can put our card in there like that. All right, looks good, looks good. All right. And then we want to put our ribbon cable on, and this is a little tricky, but it'll go in there. You just got to get some light where you can see it. Get your hand up in there, get it lined up, press down, do the back one, press down, and that's in. Then we just got to hook it up to our controller card, and pin 1 goes right there. Make sure the pin 1 goes to the red wire. All right. Now we're ready to power it up and see if it works. All right, there we go. All right, so we got to set up our floppy. So let's reset it and go into our CMOS. Hit delete. I missed it. Man, I missed it. We'll just hit it anyway. This is DOS. We can do anything. All right. All right. Okay. So we just got to go down and do our drive D right here, because remember it's a hard disk. So I pointed at the floppy, but that was wrong. That was bad. All right. Page up, and I already have it in there from before. So we just hit escape, F10, yes, enter. All right, so now we should have 2 drives. And it hasn't thrown a fit yet. Okay, so then I have my NE2000 packet driver, and then I have my ISA Ethernet card driver loaded. All right, just a heads up. I think we might have. I think we covered that already, but I'm not sure. All right, so let's see if we have a drive D, shall we? And we do. Let's see what's on it. And that's it. It must be a system drive. I must have formatted it for the system. Okay, there we go. Let's map our drive A and D together so that whenever a program wants to access drive A, it just accesses our drive D, which is our removable media. So when we type A:\\, it'll be going to drive D, but the prompt will show that it's on A. All right. You don't have to do that. I just kind of want to do that. So to do that, you just go. So we have D right now, right? And if we go dir, see, okay, so that's our drive D. All right, so now we don't have an A installed, so we will go substitute sub st A colon, and then you have to specify, it's actually a path, so it's D colon / is the path that we're substituting, and then we just hit enter. All right, so then if we go to A and then dir, see, that's our drive D. See what happens when we go to drive D. And it has a drive D too. I thought it would say not invalid drive, but so you got A and D. A and D are the same. I was kind of hoping D would just disappear. But I think we can delete that too. But I'm not sure. But that's it. And then you can put that in your auto exec file, and then it will automatically do it for you every time that you boot up. Okay. Okay, there you have it. So we have a fancy, almost factory made floppy drive for our machine. So I'll put a link to the 3D printer file, I think STL file, um, up on in the description, and you can download that and print your own drive. And I'll put up a link to the exact CF card adapter that I got. It's off Amazon. It's, I think, $10, if that much. So that's pretty much it. I'll continue on. I have started on the new schematic for adding the USB into our controller card. So the next video will be on about that. It will start diving deeper into it. So basically, and to emulate the registers of the serial card, the factory card, which is a 16C650, and there was 450s and 550s, but it's just this. That's the serial, the RS-232 serial chip from the old days. So in order to emulate those registers, I'm going to use some SRAM. So that's the first step. I'm going to get some SRAM. I'm going to stick it on the controller board with a separate decoding chip. You can probably get it all together in one decoding chip, but I'm just kind of separating it. Maybe I'll combine it later. It's not a big deal. It costs maybe $5 more or something. I think the PAL chip is like $5, $6. So we'll have a separate decode chip, and then that will decode the address for the registers, which will be in the SRAM chip. All right, so the smallest, cheapest SRAM chip you can get is a 256K by 8. So we're not going to use anywhere near 256K, but it's the smallest, cheapest chip you can get. So it's like under $2, I think. So it doesn't really matter if we waste some memory space. So that will be for the registers. Then we'll use a kind of a fancy microcontroller. We're going to use a 32-bit PIC microcontroller to process the USB, and then we're going to connect that to the data bus of the memory chip. And so we will read and write to the memory chip and with the microcontroller and the PC. So there's a little trick we'll have to do that. So that's for the next video. That's what the next video is going to be focused on. And that's the end of this video. And I will see you in that future video.